Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. Welcome back to the We Talk Football podcast. It's another big week of football. And today, these guys want to talk a little bit about Chelsea. So I'm just going to let them go. Quakey, what's going to happen in the game?
So obviously it's Chelsea Atletico today, probably our biggest game of the season. I've probably said before the season started, we didn't expect to get anywhere really in Champions League, but how the cards have fallen, how the first leg's gone. Chelsea fans are now expectant, especially with Tuchel being unbeaten in his first, 12, 13 games. It's going to be a tough one because Atletico Madrid, as we all know, are wily competitors in the Champions League, knocking out... Why are you laughing?
You're so extra. Wily competitors.
They are, though. They knocked out Liverpool last season, and Liverpool were the best team in Europe last season. So it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, taking that 1-0 lead into the second leg after Giroud scored that absolute stunner in the first leg. We've got something to protect. And I do see it being a game where Atletico come out to play a little bit more than they previously have done in European games. And it's just whether Chelsea can withstand that, whether we can keep Luis Suarez quiet, whether we can keep João Felix quiet. And with our defensive record in recent games, I'm confident of it. But again, because it's a European tie against Atletico Madrid, you can never be too confident. What's your thoughts on that, Louis?
I mean, as you say, mate, wily competitors. Any Diego Simeone team, Atleti, they are, typecast effectively. Everyone knows what they're going to do. Everyone knows how they're going to be. It's going to be a hard game. Obviously, no Mason, no Jorginho. I think Mason Mount's our player of the season. So missing him, especially when we evidently don't have a lot going forward at the moment, is going to be an issue. But on top of that, obviously with the lack of Jorginho, we know it's going to be a Kovacic-Kante double pivot. So I'm comfortable with that. Kovacic and the retention and the tight spaces and N'Golo sweeping everything up. Like you say, they are going to come out to play a little bit more. But, we're going to have all the ball again, as we do. And, going back to the Leeds game at the weekend, not the most entertaining game in the world. I think we're probably due for another that's similar. I can't imagine there's going to be many opportunities. I reckon very, very tight. Is it at the Bridge?
Yes.
It's at home.
So it's not like one of those.
Yeah,
it's not one of those weird ones because obviously I think City played yesterday, but it was supposed to be a home game, but it was.
It wasn't. Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's at the Bridge.
Yeah, United had Milan over obviously last week.
Yeah.
So I was hoping it would be at the Bridge. I'm feeling positive. The issue at the moment is just us going forward. I saw some Kai Havertz quotes recently, and he's starting to sound a little bit more boisterous in the stuff that he's coming out saying, like obviously holding himself to a high standard, which we need to see come to fruition, really. But feeling positive about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tuchel's come out and obviously confirmed that you got 4 major players out tomorrow or out at the game. You got Thiago Silva is out, Tammy Abraham is still sidelined, and then Jorginho and Mason Mount are both suspended. How do you see Chelsea lining up with those guys out of the squad?
So if I quickly run through my ideal starting 11, I'd have Mendy in goal, obviously. Back three of Azpilicueta, Christensen and Rudiger. As Louis touched on, a midfield pivot of Kante and Kovacic. The left wing backs probably, and the wing back positions are probably the ones that are most like up in the air. I don't know what you think about it, Louis. I feel like left wing back, I would personally go with Marcos Alonso,
which is crazy.
Mad.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. But also, everything about this season's been crazy for Chelsea. When we were talking about Atleti, bless him, I hate to bring him up, our boy Frank. When we were talking about Atleti with Frank at the helm, that was a done deal for me.
Yeah.
We were going out, and now obviously with the 1-0 result, I'm feeling very, very confident.
So who do you go right wing back?
That's the interesting one for me. I think Alonso goes left wing back. Obviously, Chile played at the weekend, and I just think you want that. Alonso's slower paced, and it kind of suits playing a Spanish team. It suits European football. He's a little bit more, let's say, measured and precise in his movements, and technically, obviously, he's fantastic. Again, I'm not Thomas Tuchel. What's he going to decide to do with Callum or Reece? Is he going to go at them, or is it going to be? I mean, Reece can still go at them, but obviously offers you a lot more cover. I suppose it could be Reece looking after that away goal, and potentially maybe, I don't know. It depends where João Felix is going to be playing. Is he going to be playing on the wing or in the pockets? Is Reece going to be tasked with following him around? I mean, João Felix is small. Reece is a big boy.
See, I would go with Reece, right wing back, just because, like you said, the defensive solidity, and obviously Callum could be an option if things go awry and we need to get a goal in the game. And then the front three, obviously Kai Havertz is definitely starting.
Yeah, he is. And I think Timo starts as well.
For people that don't know these players personally, what are their last names, guys?
Alan Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, Kai Havertz. So the front three, I'm going Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. And who do you reckon the next one is? It's either Hakim Ziyech or Pulisic.
Yeah, I believe.
Not Christian, no.
Nah, Chris.
Yeah, we'll call it Chris.
I think it might be Hakim because, but again, I don't know. I'm not a top Premier League manager, am I? We'll see.
I think you're selling yourself short, mate.
Well, Jay, what in terms of like a neutral point of view, how do you foresee the game going in terms of how Atleti are going to come out and play, how Chelsea are going to come out and play, and ultimately what do you reckon the final result's going to be?
Well, traditionally, obviously, Atletico Madrid are a very defensive, well-drilled side, always hard to play, and historically do quite well in the European competitions. They've been to finals over the last few years. But then, what are Chelsea right now? They're not really that good going forward, and they're also a defensively, astute team. I think it could be a team where you just get two defensive sides, and they could cancel each other out. And I think it will be, it could be a boring game. I think Atletico have only got to get one goal, and they're back in the tie.
Yeah.
So Suarez is always worth something, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to be a game where I think Chelsea are going to have to definitely up their game going forward. Maybe bag a goal just to try and take the draw a little bit out of their hands or out of Atletico's hands. But I can honestly see like a 1-1 draw coming. Like in terms of score predictions, what do you guys think?
I'll let you go, Lou, first.
Oh, I'm going with a solid 0-0.
You take that all day long.
We'll take that, but do you take? I mean, of course you take it because it's Champions League quarterfinal. But I am very much looking forward to seeing all these absolute ballers find some attacking cohesion because it's going to be fun. But when's it going to happen?
When's that going to happen? That's the thing. I would love it to be that kind of game that you're talking about in terms of like squeezing the life out of Atletico and it getting to like the 80th minute and it being 0-0. Because I think if it's sitting at 1-0, getting into the 85th minute, Atletico just need one goal to go through. So I would love it to be that kind of stalemate game where even if it's 0-0 in the 85th minute, Atletico get a goal, at least we'll go into extra time as opposed to going out and chasing another goal. So I'm going to go with Chelsea win in this game. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Chelsea win.
Who's scoring?
Bold.
Who's scoring? Kai Havertz is going to break his duck, and I think we're going to get a penalty, but I just don't know who's going to take it.
Nice. How much money are you putting on this, by the way?
Not very much, man. Not very much. I'm maybe being blindly optimistic, but I do think we can get a win in this game. Atletico being caught by Barcelona and Real Madrid in La Liga. They're not as good as they were earlier in the season. So I think we can this game with confidence.
You went away to them and dominated them. Like in form where you weren't exactly the lighting the pitch up. So we
hold the ball so well, and I think at home. They're not going to come out and press us properly, and I think this is really one of the the key points of where we're seeing. I mean, obviously we all know the Premier League's the best league in the world, but hey, Real Madrid obviously they've gone through against Atalanta and Sergio Ramos has come back to save them, and Karim Benzema are the most underrated striker in the world. Obviously they're still doing bits because the squad's amazing, but if you look at the leagues as a whole. The Italian league, I mean, it's nice to see Conte and Inter doing well. And Conte and Inter are doing well because, they're playing arguably a Premier League influenced style of football. The pressing that we play, Chelsea, City, I mean, I don't really want to throw I can't throw Tottenham into it anymore. But
Liverpool.
Leicester, Liverpool, yeah. I mean, Liverpool are Liverpool, and everything's a little bit skew-iff at the moment. The intensity of the football that all the top Premier Leagues are playing, I feel is just too much for La Liga, Serie A at the moment. Obviously, I mean, Bundesliga is something unto itself, and PSG and Bayern Munich, they stand out as European heavyweights. But aside from those two, I can't really think of any teams that really are going to go to the top teams in the Premier League. City, maybe Liverpool on their day at the moment. Chelsea.
Well, it's an interesting point. Me and Kwaku have kind of alluded to this in the past, where now this year is the best year for City to go and really challenge for the Champions League, because they've got the least opposition. They're by far the favourites. They've gone against Mönchengladbach and won 2-0 over both games.
Oh, they looked amazing last night.
Yeah, swept them aside like they were an average side. So, I think you're right. I think when you look across the quality of the top 5 European leagues, I think there's only really 2 teams really that are fully established and really can challenge, if not beat, the top English sides at the moment. So it's going to be an interesting end to the Champions League for sure. In terms of Chelsea's chances, where do you hold? I know you can never say never. They had that wonderful win against Bayern Munich all those years ago. Drogba at the front post, the head. I remember cheering at that. But what do you guys think? Where do you think you can go?
I believe that
we're going to win
it. No, I'd love to say we're going to win it, but like you say, they're realistically, City are better than us. PSG are better than us. Bayern Munich are better than us. And even though Liverpool having an atrocious season, if we
they are better than us on their day.
They are better than us on their day. So things are gonna have to fall our way. We're gonna have to maybe draw Porto. We're gonna have to kind of hope that we draw Borussia Dortmund and we kind of stumble our way to the final. But we're nowhere near the favourites, man. We're probably if we make it through this game, probably 6th or 7th favourite to win the competition.
The thing is, it's Champions League. I think if City aren't comfortably in the semis, and when I say comfortably, I mean walking to the semis and walking through them, there should be an inquest, because Pep Guardiola's never taken them past the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
the talent they have is an absolute joke, and the way they look this season in comparison with everyone else across world football, if they don't step over this barrier. Evidently, there's a mentality issue, and I don't know if that's with the team or with Pep. I know I don't want to speak in terms of massive hyperbole, because it is the Champions League and anything can happen. It's always up in the air. And that being said, that's why Chelsea have definitely got an opportunity to go and do something in it. 2 legs. I back us over 2 legs against a lot of teams in terms of the way we're playing. Just don't want to draw Bayern Munich or City, really. And if you can avoid those 2, then I think you can maybe make a go of it.
Jay, do you reckon we can win it?
Do I think Chelsea can win it?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Makes, do you think West Ham will get top 4?
Definitely not. And that's the best place to end this pod. This is the best place to end this podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. And you'll be back in a couple of days with another video.